the Cougars of Connor. Now, you guys have already saw several of the state champion wrestlers from Connor. Your Matt Shotwells, your Troy Coles, your Todd Cole, your Ryan Putoffs. We could go on and on. Craig Bertelson, Pat Marks, Rob Madden, Richie Parker, and Coach Wayne Bedita has been in a few of those. But our guest today was able to break the dry spell, if you will, for Connor, and he's a 2018 state champion. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
I'm Sammy Grandstaff. I started wrestling when I was 5 years old. My dad put me and my twin brother in it, and we were always wrestling around. You know, we were same size. Would go back and forth. He would beat me one day, I'd beat him, and that's how it became pretty good.
Right. I got you. We'll talk about Jacob here in just a minute, but like we said, Connor's got a phenomenal wrestling tradition. Coach Wayne Bedita, the godfather, if you will, of Connor wrestling. He told me the story of how he got the Connor wrestling job, and it's great. But Connor has 20 individual state champions, 1983 team state champions, 1981 state runner-up as a team, 2 most outstanding wrestlers, a 4-time state champion, Robbie Clarkston, which his memorial video for his 1981 match is on the channel, and 1984 Troy Cole. Troy's 1983 state championship match is on the channel. So if you have that 1984 state championship video of all the matches, because we want to get with Matt Shotwell and with Troy, both of them are just itching to do their matches from Connor. We'd love to get with them. So if you have that, please send it to me or at least reach out to me. And Sam, man, so you started, you said at 5, correct?
Yeah, 5 years old.
And did you start in like the Northern Kentucky area, like in the Connor feeder program, or how does that work for you?
Me and Jacob, we started at Connor Youth when we were 5 years old, little guys, and then when we were like 7, we started wrestling with Nick Spatola.
Oh yeah,
and
we Nick. Nick is on the channel. We done a memorial video for Jason Davio, and Nick was nice enough to do it. I mean, there's a lot of great wrestling, a lot of great wrestlers and wrestling there at that Spatola Academy up there, man. A lot of hammers come out of that. So you start at 5. Is it just that you kind of get in the habit of it, or did you develop a love for wrestling at that age? Because, you know, when you're 5 years old, man, you have a whole life to explore, you know, a lot of different interests. Did it just, you know, this is what we are. We're a wrestling family. Me and my brother were wrestlers. Is that just how you kind of fell into it, or walk us through that?
My older brother, Michael, he actually wrestled first. And we seen him wrestle, and we kind of just wanted to be like him, and just what he did. So yeah,
you know, man, the amount of people that we've met with on the series so far, it's something to that effect. Big brothers wrestled, or cousin that we looked up to, or uncle, whoever it was, somebody that was just a little bit older. They're like, I want to be like that guy. You know, I want to be him. So it's cool that you guys had a good wrestling role model, and it worked out for you. So right out of the gate, man, as a freshman in 2018, 106 pounds, you win the daggone thing. Let's go over your bracket. You start off the state tournament, and if I mispronounce some of these names, you might be able to help me. I apologize. I don't mean to mispronounce anybody's name. Some of them, though, I'm just not familiar with. You start off with a pin over Kevin. Is it Miss Ladine?
I think it's Miss Ladine, yeah.
Miss Ladine, yeah. Like I said, I'm not trying to make fun of your last name. I'm sorry. I just don't know how to pronounce it. Kevin, we're going to say Miss Ladine from Boyle County, 1 minute and 30 seconds. You get to the second round, you're wrestling Yahir. I think it's pronounced Minachaka from Harrison County. You win that by a fall in 1 minute, 49 seconds. You get to the quarters, you win a 15-2 major decision over Dylan Walls of Caldwell County. Dylan goes on to get 7th place. You get to the semis, you're wrestling Gavin Androni from Woodford County. You win that by a 9-5 decision. And Gavin goes on to get 5th place. And a little trivia about Gavin is he also goes on to wrestle Reese Goss in the 22 state finals at 144 pounds. Of course, Reese gets the win in that in overtime. That video is on the channel. But you get to the finals, man. You're wrestling Jason Hansen from St. Xavier. Now, had you wrestled Jason prior to this, or is this the first time you guys had met?
No, I wrestled him a couple of times in middle school.
I got you.
Yeah.
No, and the but before we talk about him, and we will, I just want to get your, you're a freshman, man. You're probably a 14-year-old freshman, I would say, somewhere thereabouts, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And first time in the finals, of course, are when you win your semifinals and the realization, like, oh my God, I'm in the state championship match in high school. Do the nerves kind of set in, or are you just like looking forward to it? Because some people, first time they're in it, you can tell by the review videos that we've done, people, the best move they have is a handshake, or, they're like the proverbial deer in the headlights. They just don't know what to do. They're scared to death, even though they probably wrestled hundreds of matches in their career. Just like when all the eyes of the state are on you, the attention's on you, people just freeze up. So were you like nervous, or were you just excited to get out there and do it, or talk us through that?
I was nervous at all. I mean, I wrestled 1,000 times. I love the big stage, I love that.
No, I and I'm glad that you said that, because there's a lot of freshmen that we've met with on the channel. I think most recently on the channel, the freshman that won it is Braden Blevins from Simon Kenton, and he was wrestling another freshman, George Dennis from Harrison County. So, 2 freshmen going at it. They knew each other, but I'm not saying that you're not ready for that stage, but it's a big stage to be on. You know what I'm saying? It's a big stage, and it's what you've worked for to get there. Now, does Coach Padilla give you any advice before you go out? Does he give you like any secretive, hey, this is, I'm anointing you with some privileged information, or he just tell you go out, wrestle your match, or what advice did he give you before you went out there?
Coach Padilla didn't give me any advice, but Coach Fisher, he would always give the best motivational speeches and just talk you up, made sure you were ready, and yeah, so he got me ready.
No, that's good. That's good to know, man. And we are going to pull up your match video here, so you guys are seeing what we're seeing. We're at the Horse Park, not too far of a drive from Connor. I've been to Connor twice, and both times I went right past every time I go past it, when I go on I-75, I give it a salute, because I know what it means. So you're here, man. Let's get this done. Let's watch it. You're in that white Connor singlet that looks beautiful. So right out of the gate, he tries to head and arm there, snap you down. You're able to defend it pretty good.
Yeah, I was never the best on my feet, so I was just trying to get on top, honestly. Mm-hmm. I was just trying to get that one takedown. That's where I wanted to be.
You're probably what, about 6 foot, 6'1", something like that now?
No, I'm actually only 5'9". I stopped growing.
I was thinking you were taller than that. I thought you was taller than I was. You look to be like you're about 7 foot tall here. I think it's the legs, man.
Yeah, I always had long legs. I have real long legs. They help me put legs in,
it works. So right there, your guys' 2 scrambles that you had, that's just some great wrestling. You get the takedown, come back to the center there. Now, you're on top. What are we looking to do here? What's your bread and butter turn? What do we look to throw some legs in, like you said, or do you know him? He know he's got a weakness, or you can capitalize on something?
I like to ride legs, but I know I lined up on the opposite side because he's not comfortable on that side. He usually would stand up, and I would just hit a cradle.
No, I get it. And speaking of cradles, it looks like you're about ready to lock one up.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew once I had that, it was pretty much
There it is, man.
wraps.
You win by a fall in 1 minute and 8 seconds. You become Connor's first state champion since Ryan Putoff in 1996. Excellent performance, and of course, this video also has the medal ceremony. I mean, just a phenomenal performance, man. Not much really I can say. You knew what you were good at.
Thank you.
You didn't come out and, lollygag, as the old saying goes. You went out and knew what you were good at, got the takedown, and we know that coaches, elementary, middle school, youth coaches, they've told me they show our review videos to the wrestlers so they can learn how the people that come before them or know about the history of the state tournament, the state champions. And that's something that you said that's really good about scouting your opponent, knowing who you're wrestling. You lined up on this opposite side and you was able to capitalize. So young wrestlers, if you've wrestled somebody 3, 4, 5, 6 times, kind of save their information in the back of your head. Okay, this person is really strong, or they have they're not very good at fighting off a cradle, or they're susceptible to, an inside trip, whatever it is. Just every little advantage you can get, man, men or women, guys or girls, can help you out.
I agree. I agree with that.
Here you come in, top of the podium.
Mm-hmm. It felt pretty good.
Oh, I can imagine. That's a big honor, man.
Yeah.
Big honor.
Yeah, it is.
And you beat some. We'll talk about it here just in a second. But there's some great wrestlers on that podium right there.
There is. Yes. There is.
That's where this one is. But on that podium, you also had Cole Thomas of Raw as an 8th grader. Of course, Cole, all 4 of his state championship videos are on the channel. Devin Herron from North Hardin, 2-time state champion, was on that podium as well. Gavin was on that podium, of course, state runner-up. Just some great wrestlers on that podium. And we'd also be remiss if we didn't mention your brother, Jacob, 120 pounds, 7th place. So, 2 twin brothers, man, both of you guys on the podium. That's the way you grow up together, go probably to the same camps, wrestle for the same leagues. It's just, I guess you had a better day when it counted, right?
Jacob actually, he had a deep bracket. He was a freshman, and he actually beat Tyler Stork to place.
Oh, okay. I got
and,
you.
He had a Preston Mattingly the day before. He lost to Tyler Stork, and Tyler Stork knocked Preston out. It was just a very deep bracket.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Man, sometimes they're just in doing this, some of these brackets, you're like you said, some of those names, you go down through and you look at the history, and you're like, I can't believe, all 4 of these guys were on the same side of the bracket together. I can't believe that these 3 were in that bottom. One of them was going to come out of these. So just, that random draw, the luck of the draw sometimes can determine you might be a great wrestler, but when you got 3, 4 matches back to back to back, nothing but hammers. And I've said this in other videos, you don't accidentally win a state championship. Now, you might accidentally make it to the semis. You get with a couple newer wrestlers, you get past your first 2 rounds. Your quarterfinals match may end in a default or an injury or something to that effect. You can accidentally make your way to the semis if you're lucky. But you're not going to accidentally win a state championship. It just does not happen that way. So
I agree.
2019, you're a sophomore, 120 pounds, 3rd place. You mentioned Preston Mattingly. You run into him. That was his state championship year. He gets you with a 4-0 decision. So I don't want to say that you're disappointed, but I mean, if you're going to get beat by the person that eventually wins it. And you had a great showing. You really did. You was able to wrestle back and get third. Some people, when they get beat in the quarters of the semis, they're just happy to get, they want to roll over and die, get sixth, get seventh, eighth, whatever. They don't care. Jacob, 132 pounds, also gets third place. So you guys, both of you on the same side of the podium there, or same place on the podium. I was going to ask you about 2020. Jacob gets fourth at 145. I've got you at 138. Was it an injury or something to that effect? Because it's got you not placed. And I'm just curious. I don't know.
No, I didn't place that year. I ran into Malachi Ryder first round, and I didn't wrestle. I never wrestled my first match of the day. I never felt comfortable. And actually, every match I lost in high school at state was always the first match of the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in my blood round, I lost to Zach Cowan, which he beat me pretty good. And I just never wrestled very good. But that bracket was very deep. It was very deep.
And no shame in losing to Malachi, two-time state champion, or to Zach. Zach's videos on the channel, which actually, fun fact, Zach and Malachi wrestle each other in the state championship in 21. And that, like I said, Zach's videos on the channel. After you get done watching this one, go check that out if you're so inclined. 2021, as a senior, 145 pounds, third place. And talk about redemption, because you start off the day, and well, it was an 8-man bracket that year because of Miss Rona and her shenanigans. We cut it down to one day, 8 wrestlers. The quarterfinal match was your first match of the day. You run into Reese Goss of Johnson Central. He get you with an 8-4 decision, but oh, how revenge can be sweet, right? You guys meet up in the third place match, and you actually beat him by the exact same score, 8-4. So, talk to the current high school wrestlers, to the youth, elementary, middle school wrestlers about having to wrestle somebody in the same tournament, and they beat you once, and then you beat them when it, in the second come around. Give us that. I don't want to say the breakdown, but just your perspective on what happened there. Don't quit. There's another match to go, right?
Yeah, never quit. Just keep wrestling, no matter who your opponent is. And especially when someone beats you, you definitely want that one back, and you definitely want to win that one back. And I try to embarrass them. I try to wrestle the best I could, rack up points, It was 8-4. I didn't get to embarrass him, but I went out there and hit a Merkle and put him on his back in like 5 seconds.
Oh, wow.
That was my goal.
I didn't know that. That's good. And no Reese, like I said, 2023 state or 2022 state champion, 144 pounds. So I mean, it wasn't like you was out there wrestling a scrub. You know what I'm saying? Both you guys, state champions. And if I was doing my research and I was thinking it was either you, because this had to be like 21. I think it was the COVID year. You guys come to Johnson Central and wrestled, correct? And I got to referee a couple of your guys' duels. And was it you or your brother that wrestled Reese that day?
I wrestled Reese that day, yeah.
Okay, I thought
it was the overtime match.
I think it did go to overtime, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that is. There's been a lot of wrestling since then, but I do believe, because that was like the best match of the day. If I'm not, it was you and Reese, because everybody kind of stopped wrestling. It was you and Reese, and then I think it was your Connor's 195, 182, 215 that somebody had placed at the state the year before.
It was Cooper Elliston.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly right.
Rodriguez, I believe.
Yep, and Levid Rodriguez. That's correct. Yep, that's exactly right. So, like we said, man, Connor, great tradition. 20 individual state champions, 1983 team state champions. The Godfather, Wayne Videtta. Much respect to Wayne. And just like I said, some of the names: your Shotwells, your Coles, your Maddens, your Richie Parkers, your Craig Bertelsons, your Robbie Clarkston's, your Pat Martz, you, Ryan Putoff. We can go on and on. John Wine. We can go on. Kelly Stickrod, which Kelly's memorial video. We don't have the match, but Coach Padilla was nice enough to join us there in the mat room and do Kelly's memorial video. So, man, we've covered a lot of ground. Do you have anything you'd like to say or add or whatever to wrap this video up for the greater good?
One thing, Jason Davio, you guys were talking about, he came to my dad's shop, and he was actually the one who got us with Nick, and he was like wrestling with us on a wheelchair. He would make us take sweep singles on him while he was laying down, and like we'd shoot on his legs, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I never got to meet Jason. He was a year or two younger or older than me in school. In 2000, he wins the 112-pound weight class. I didn't make it to state that year, but that was my weight class. And from everything that I've heard from people that knew Jason, Jason's family, classmates, Nick, that Jason was just a phenomenal guy, and just an absolute, just a terrible tragedy what happened with him and his untimely passing. But his legacy with guys like you, stories like that, I mean, that's something out of a movie script. Somebody that was a 2-time state champion, all the medical issues that he had, and was saying, okay, practice your shots on me, practice a sweep on me, or hand fight with me, whatever. And I just can't. From all the stories I've heard, that just adds to the Jason Davio legacy and the Jason Davio lore. So, and on a much lighter note, and we've done both times we've been at Connor, we've of course been in the mat room there, and you guys have up like all the old singlets up on the wall, and like the state placers and state champions and all that up on the wall. So Connor does a really good job of embracing their wrestling history. They have the cutout there of the state of the 1983 state champions, like when you walk down that hallway. I'm not sure. I guess that's the backside of your all's gym, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. The back
First time I went in there, I saw it. I got to pull my phone out, took a photo of it. It was so cool, just the way that 80s style painting and just the way it looked. It was just so neat that it's been there all these years. So, man, if you don't have anything else, I think we've covered what we've needed to cover here in the review video, man. Again, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Earlier today, we're filming this on the 8th of January, 2024. I put out on my Facebook, I got some upcoming LaRue County, Trinity, Connor, Fern Creek, and a couple other teams. And somebody messaged me, who's from Connor? Because there's only a few people left. And I was like, you got to wait for the video to come out. Sorry, good magician never reveals his tricks, right?
I agree with that.
All right, man. Well, that's all that we have, guys. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you on the mats.